The US Federal Reserve has announced aggressive new emergency measures to help protect the world's largest economy from the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. The US Central Bank has committed to spending as much as it takes to shore up struggling companies and financial markets. The move comes as US lawmakers continue to argue the merits of a Republican-backed $2 trillion relief package, which Democrats say favours corporations over workers. The Fed is setting aside $300 billion to provide loans to troubled businesses and borrowers. Under the so-called Main Street Business Lending Program, small and medium-sized businesses will be able to apply for bridge loans that have to be repaid over 4 years. And the central bank has also committed to unlimited purchases of US Treasuries and mortgage-backed securities to help provide liquidity and encourage lending. Well, with the epicentre of the outbreak now shifted from China to Europe, the European Union's fear gauge is now at levels last seen during the 2008 financial crisis. To prevent an economic meltdown, Germany has pulled out further measures. Berlin, which expects its economy to shrink more than 5% this year, has boosted the total amount of its economic aid package to more than $800 billion. It includes an additional budget of tens of billions of dollars, which, in a radical break from its zero debt policy, will be financed through new borrowing.
We will present a supplementary budget to Parliament this week. The Cabinet just decided that of $168 billion. This is of a size not achieved in one step before at the start of a crisis before. I think this needs to be mentioned, but it is a necessary and right step which shows from the outset that we will use all we have to tackle this crisis and that neither the health system or the economic output of our country is put into question.
Well, for more on this, Daniel Lacalle joins us live now from London. He's chief economist at the asset management firm Tressis. Welcome back to Money Talks, Daniel. Can I start with these unprecedented measures announced by the US Federal Reserve? It says it's prepared to spend as much as it takes in order to shield the US economy from the coronavirus. What do you make of this plan? Is it something that needed to be done?
Well, I think that this plan is better than the previous message that was sent by the Federal Reserve and the previous idea of just a stimulus package. Why? Because this actually targets the municipalities, which are ones that will suffer immensely in this crisis. So there are some signals there that can be seen as positive. But the issue is not an issue of credit or access to credit. The issue right now is an issue of complete shutdown of sales and shutdown of the supply chains. Therefore, it is more down to what the package that the Congress is discussing right now will achieve, and that is quite up to debate. So the measures from the Federal Reserve seem more aimed to calm the markets, but right now what is needed is an important set of measures that are driven to a supply shock, and those are supply measures.
Yeah, let's talk about that difference, because in the past, the US Fed has enacted similar quantitative easing measures to basically encourage banks to keep on lending so they can lend to businesses that can continue to hire workers. But as you say, in this case, lending isn't the problem. It's a complete shutdown of these businesses, factories and other companies of the like. So do you believe that this $2 trillion stimulus package that's still yet to be passed by the Congress, is that more crucial in this case?
It is certainly more crucial, and it's certainly more crucial because it is aimed at providing a bit of a breathing space for those businesses that are going to be shut down for we don't know how long. And I think that is an important factor. This is a forced shutdown of the economy. This is a legally enforced shutdown of the economy, and as such, the measures that central banks and governments were building to address a 2008 style crisis don't work, because it has absolutely nothing to do with an issue of access to credit, when most of the businesses are going to find themselves with zero sales. So it has to be driven by reductions in business taxes. It has to be also aimed at providing workers with the security that there's not going to be a massive unemployment increase. So it has to be a very comprehensive package that targets a completely forced shutdown of the economy that has absolutely nothing to do with a credit demand issue.
Okay, Daniel Lacalle, I'm afraid I'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much again for your analysis.